Welcome to another edition of Great Health, Abundant Happiness, and Outrageous Love. Mwah. Just sitting out here by the river. This is a nice spot.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
We call this Captain's Spot. This is where we sat with him on his final day here on Earth. And just the sound of the river, it's so peaceful and beautiful, and makes us want to come over here and feel his presence. So
Yeah. So it's a great spot. It's near and dear to our hearts.
with us.
So we are going to talk about the 7 Pearls of Wisdom. And these are, I found this in a pack that I had. It was all crumpled up, and Karen said, "Who wrote that?" I said, "I think we wrote it quite a while ago." So we wanted to share that with you guys. So they're basically 7 pearls of wisdom, 7 things you should be focusing on to live your best life, I guess is the way I would summarize it. And number 1 is, what is it, hon? You got to grab
So number 1, and we talk about this all the time, is love yourself always and first.
Right.
Right? It's so mission critical to everything else that we do on this planet that helps us make this experience as joyous and peaceful and, grateful as possible. Love yourself first and always, no matter what.
Right. So, and that's whether you're trying to build a relationship or even in business. We just had this discussion with a business group that we're in. We're reading a book, and we were talking about self-love, and someone was going off on a tangent on, this and that, and really basically questioning themselves. Not that they didn't love themselves, but, it wasn't full love of themselves. And we said that came up on the call, and he said, maybe we should do the next book on how to love yourself. 'Cause it sounds pretty simple, but people do question themselves a lot. And you don't want to say things like, I'm overweight, or I'm out of shape, or, I'm not good enough for this piece of business, where I'm not a person that can actually call out to somebody and make introductions. All of those, question marks around yourself are, dangerous, I guess, in anything that you do.
Right. And I think it's a phenomenal view to want to continually better yourself, whatever it is. Jeffrey talked about weight, etc. Whether it's to get healthier so that you can enjoy life, longer, and from a perspective of movement, etc. But the key is love yourself right now, where you are in this exact moment. That doesn't mean that you can't continually enhance and improve things that you're interested in enhancing and improving. But mission critical, love yourself right now as you are, always.
Always. And then the second pearl of wisdom is be grateful. Be grateful always. And this is one of my favorites, because I think it's been really powerful for me as a person in this life. If you're grateful for everything around you, you exude this attraction, this dense vibration that people are attracted to. That you're just, you're not looking for something. You're satisfied. You're happy, and you're what we call a light giver. And it doesn't have to be, a mansion on the ocean. I mean, you could just, the roof over your head. It's your cup of coffee in the morning. It's going out in the smell of the fresh air. The fact that maybe you have a job, whatever it is. Look around. I mean, just be so grateful for all you have. I'm so grateful for you, by the way.
I agree. It's my favorite as well. We've got 7 pearls of wisdom here, and be grateful always is my favorite, because it's something that I know that when I was younger, I wasn't wise enough to appreciate so many things that I was not grateful for, that I should have been grateful for. Some big, some small, but many, many things. And now I feel as if I'm in a state of gratitude for everything. Something as big or small, depending on your view, as your breath. To me, it's huge. We take that for granted, that we breathe, right? And that we can sustain life on this planet. But I am so grateful for that. You know, if you've seen us do a video on gratitude before, I always add in, I'm so grateful for my feet. You know, I have Lyme, and there was a time when they hurt so badly I could barely walk. And when they don't hurt, I think about how amazing it is that we have feet that take us places, right? And you know, if you happen to be somebody who doesn't have feet or doesn't have a foot, you know that the gratitude of getting places in a different manner, you can appreciate that as well. So, you know, our breath, another thing that I think we take for granted, but we're able to breathe the air here on this planet. And what a miracle. I'm so grateful for that. And then, you know, I'm grateful for everything, things big and small. When we have a beautiful meal, or if we just have a super simple meal, I'm so grateful for the organic farmers and, you know, everything. So that's my favorite. I could go on and on about gratitude.
Right, and you know, you brought up one key point, and this is great. We said this to our kids, and we remind ourselves ongoing, and people that we work with, that, you know, you actually forget about some of these things until you lose them for a bit, as you just said.
Yes.
You know, your feet were bothering you, and you forget to be grateful for it. We did a hike a couple days ago, and one of our guys had a really sore back, and when you have a bad back, it's like really hurts just to stand up or hike, and you know, so you're not grateful for a healthy body, or you're not grateful enough, or people forget about that. So, you know, those are wake-up calls, but I think that's really important. The third pearl of wisdom here I have, this thing is really wrinkled up. Release judgment. Watch your words and thoughts. So, you know, we talked about this, you know, we're going through the 4 agreements again, be impeccable with your word. I think that falls right in here. So release judgment. I mean, don't judge yourself or judge anybody around you. I mean, let it be. Let people do what they want, do what you want, and watch your words, because you can catch yourself judging things, whether it's the weather, the person next door, an event, you know, whatever. You can get, I think we as human beings can be pretty critical and judging, right?
Absolutely. And it's such a, you know, it's something that we just need to release. There's no need or reason for judgment to cloud this joyous life that we have. And as Jeffrey said, starting with yourself, you know, there have been times, and, you know, I think we're all guilty of it. I'll look in the mirror and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, I've got wrinkles or whatever it is. Or, you know, if you're back to the weight, you're trying to lose weight, you know, gosh, you know, I'm so mad at myself I ate that whatever last night.
Right.
It's not worth our time to lose 1 minute on judging. You know, here's another great one that Jeff and I always talk about. We enjoy our wine. We love to drink wine. We love to go to vineyards and spend time there. We love the whole process and the romance of it. And I'm not going to lie, there have been times when we have had maybe a little bit more wine than we should have. We definitely overserved ourselves. It happens. And I have this saying, no one should ever feel bad for having too much fun. Because, you know, what you'll hear from people the next day after they've had too much fun, and again, I always want to qualify this with, you know, barring hurting yourself or other people. That's a different story.
Well, that's not fun.
That's not fun. So, you know, but if you've just had too much fun and maybe you think you might have made a fool out of yourself or done something silly or, you know, said something silly, enjoy the fact that you had an amazing time with whomever you were with, having wine, sharing laughter, and focus on that. Don't focus on the fact that you may have embarrassed yourself. My gosh, who cares about that? So don't judge yourself, and never judge anyone else. That doesn't do anyone any good to think, you know, to judge anyone else in, you know, to talk about anyone else in any sort of negative way.
Well, that tees us up for number 4.
Yes.
To always be present, you know, be in the now.
Yes.
Just be present. So what you're talking about is, like, if you had too much to drink a couple of nights ago and you thought you made a fool of yourself, even if you did slip off the wagon and judge yourself. That's the past. So live in the present. You know, what does it feel like right now to be right here? I mean, there's a little smoke in the air, and if you just sit for a moment, you know, there's forest fires to the west of us like states away, and we can see a little smoke in the air, and you can smell it, the heat. I can hear the grasshoppers flying through the air. These guys have these clicky wings, and the water gurgling down here. I mean, just look at all of the flora and fauna around us. It's incredible.
So beautiful.
And you sometimes you forget, and if you're not being present, like what's going on right this moment. I mean, right this moment, and then this moment, right?
And then this.
Yes, right.
I love it. So number 5, take care of your mind, body, and soul. This is mission critical to live your best, happiest, healthiest life on all aspects. You know, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And that's something that, you know, Jeffrey and I have really taken to heart and are spending a lot of time learning about and experiencing new experiences, and, you know, meditation. So, you know, our recommendation, and again, everyone should do what works best for them to have the best, you know, mind, body, and soul. But for us, meditate, eat well, eat plant-based. And, you know, I know that's always a touchy subject, but we feel really strongly about not putting animal products in our body from animals that have been poorly treated, mistreated. We feel that that affects not only your body, but your physically, but your mental state, and that you then have to take on all of that horror that these poor animals took on. So, you know, eat a healthy, plant-based, vegetable and fruit-rich diet, and sleep is key, mission critical to our, you know, wellness. And, you know, I used to say when I was younger, I'll sleep when I'm dead, because I thought sleeping was a waste of time. And what I realized is that not only does sleep allow my body to rest and regenerate while I'm sleeping, but I have an entirely new experience during those sleep hours. You know, my dreams. That is part of this experience here on Earth, and I think it's really important for us to appreciate that sleep. So sleep is mission.
Very, very key, and that's when you heal. We've gone through some things recently, and that healing sleep is so key. So eat and drink great foods, and get your sleep, and meditate. I mean, I think meditating every day is very, very key. And the more and more we study this, that's your time to really connect with Source and connect with your higher self. Meditation is really taking things to the next level for us. So it's pretty incredible.
It is.
What's the next one?
I'm going to say the songbirds of the insect world are, it's so cool, these noises that these.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear them. That was pretty loud.
These are coming closer because they know we're talking about them.
Exactly.
So beautiful. Look at this on Sugar Baby's little water dish is
a little butterfly.
A beautiful butterfly.
That's incredible. So number 6 is focus on helping others, and that's we feel that's our divine mission, and we try to focus on that every day. I mean, we try to do our best in helping others. I mean, we just finished our climb, raised a bunch of money for climbing for kids, and it doesn't have to be anything as fancy as that. It could be just holding the door for somebody, or you know, we just got back from a walk and smiling at someone, and you know, greeting them, and just sharing your energy. I mean, just helping them, uplift them for that day, right? It doesn't take much.
Exactly. I mean, this is something Jeffrey and I are very passionate about, is helping others with relationships, because we feel really strongly that we're all here to experience this, you know, this life together and not alone. And you know, there are a lot of tools that we share with people and that we help people with. Again, as Jeffrey said, Climbing for Kids, we're so passionate about. It's the charity that, you know, we started with John and Kelly Scarborough 16 years ago, and it
Can't believe it.
I know, it seems like yesterday, but it benefits Children's Hospital Colorado's pediatric mental health department which is, for kids that are on the spectrum, suicidal, all sorts of mental issues and illnesses that are swept under the rug way too often. And, Jeffrey and I feel incredibly blessed to have these healthy children, and it's our divine mission to make sure that all children have an opportunity to get well and to live as healthy as they possibly can. And so that helping others is really, really important. Serving others, it's so important to us on every possible level of our existence.
It goes back to what you're saying, just not children, it's every living being, right down to the plants and animals as well. Right. So, we do what we can to try to help all living things. But I think that is very enlightening and keeps your vibration at a very high level or high density, depending on how you want to phrase it. But I think that helps in living your best life. And then the seventh pearl of wisdom, the last but not least, what is it, honey?
See your future as it already exists.
Well, because it already does.
It already does. So just to give you on a very small scale, and then we can talk about some larger scales, when we did this climb on Friday, we climbed Mount Bierstadt, which is a 14er, which means that the peak that we summit is more than 14,000 feet above sea level. And my goal this year, I've done it, we've climbed that mountain 20 plus times. And my goal this year was to have Sugar Baby with me, because she's done the climb on her own in past, but for those of you that follow us, she's now 15 plus and 100% blind. So she's no longer able to hike on her own, but we have that backpack that we bring her in, and I open up the back, and oh my gosh, I can feel her energy and how much she loves to be out there in nature with us. We had a great 6-mile hike today, but climbing up Mount Bierstadt. So I was probably 15-20 minutes into this round trip. How many hours?
4 hours, 5 hours, 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, I think it ended up being 5 hours. It took me a little longer having the extra weight on my back. But about 15-20 minutes into the climb, I had this visualization of having completed it, reached the summit. I saw myself sitting up there with Jeffrey and the entire group of people that were all there for this incredible charity event, and holding Sugar Baby and giving her some water. I had seen that, and then I saw us driving home, so that we had already accomplished this climb. I visualized us in that car having conversation on this winding road back down to Georgetown.
You mentioned that, but that's a simple one. You're not giving yourself enough credit. You've done that mountain so many times. I know Sugar Baby had a little extra weight, but I mean, Karen's in good shape, so that's not a big deal, really. But,
well, no, it's the visualization, though. Right. I knew I could make it. I just knew that it was going to be, an extra, just an extra effort. And I have to thank everybody who offered to take Sugar Baby's backpack here and there. And I told them all how much I appreciated them offering that. But this was my personal commitment to Sugar Baby, because she has been there for me, for us, and for our daughters, since we rescued her when she was 11 months old. So my personal commitment was that I personally was going to take her up the mountain.
That's great. We're going to take this up a little bit, though. I mean, because when you say see your future, I mean, think about relationships, or where you want to live, or what you want your life to expand to. I mean, I think a lot of people are really looking for help there.
Yes. Relationships. Talk about that for a minute.
You can use this, and I want to cut it off because it's really important on all small tasks. But we really want to focus on the point that you can really change your life if you can see your future and feel it and know it exists as it already does. Where do you want to live? Who do you want to be with? Those are the kind of things. So you mentioned talking about relationships. I think, when you and I first met, I told you in the beginning I would be with you till the end, regardless, right? And, I can see that. I mean, all the way down to, I mentioned your deathbed, right? I mean,
We've
don't want to focus on that,
No, but
what
the
that means
vision
is what you got it for life.
Exactly, and I just want to clarify the vision that Jeffrey and I have. It's a mutual shared vision of us being very, very old.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about 100 plus. You know, that's the path that we're talking about being together when we part from this existence on this planet. But we see that.
Yeah, we know we're going to be together, and you know, it's right down to jobs or your lifestyle. You know, we're living on this great side of the mountain, working from anywhere. I mean, that was all part of the plan. You know, I call it island life. You know, we're looking at different places where we want to be. It could be an island, could be the seacoast. You know, we're in the forest quite a bit, and you know, it's a lifestyle. But you know, we can go pretty deep on actually feeling that. You know, I know what that looks like, you know, what that beach looks like where we're going to be hanging out. We're going to be focusing on, you know, artwork. You know, I've started sketching again. You know, I want to get you painting again. You've got some good paintings.
I'm going to be writing. Jeffrey wants me to paint so badly, but I'm here to tell you that
I want you to do what you want to do.
I'm going to be writing. He's going to paint, and that's his passion. And I love, we've talked about this a lot today, that, you know, we are so connected. So, you know, whatever he's interested in or I'm interested in, we share this mutual. But right now, my focus is really on writing, and Jeffrey's is on drawing, but he wants to get to the painting. But, you know, I want to just wrap this up with, someone is going to write your story for you. So why not have it be you to write your story? See your future, write it down. I mean, I wrote down what I wanted in a partner, and, you know, I think I was in college when I wrote this, and met Jeffrey, you know, years after that, but I already saw it. So that way, when I met him, I was able to recognize what it was that I was looking for. And, you know, whether that's your job, write down your job. I mean, visualize yourself in that job. And again, going back to me wanting to write or Jeffrey wanting to paint, I've already visualized myself as a writer with books, and I see the books in bookshop windows. So you really just need to visualize all of that. And, you know, again, write your own story. Don't let somebody else write it, and don't leave it to chance.
I just saw this thing go into low power mode. Could you just rattle off the 7 pearls of wisdom? You want to just read those through?
So here they are, the 7 pearls of wisdom. Love yourself first and always. Number 2, be grateful always. Number 3, release judgment. Watch your words and your thoughts. Number 4, be present. Love that. Number 5, take care of your mind, body, and soul. Meditate. Eat foods that nourish you. Sleep well and enjoy your dreams. Live well. Number 6, focus on helping others. Look, this fly keeps coming towards me. You know, I love that Jeffrey and I attract nature, and some people might think, oh, it's just a fly, but for us, it's another living creature. So I welcome, you know, these insects because I find them fascinating. Let me repeat. Number 6, focus on helping others, whether it's a fly, a spider, a human being, or an entire group of people or a collective universe. Number 7, see your future as it already exists. Write your own story.
Love it.
Wishing you great health, abundant happiness, and outrageous love from Copper Mountain, Colorado.